and welcome back to Morning Coffee and Murder. I am your host today, Crystal, along with my other host.
I am Sonia.
And our other third lovely co-host is not here due to family. Nothing bad, hopefully, just the sickness. As everybody knows, tis the season to be sick.
Boy, isn't it?
So, with that morning kind of commentary and welcoming you back, let's just jump in. All right.
Sounds good to me.
So, Sonia, I have a question for you.
What's your question?
What would you do to protect your dynasty, your family?
Protect my kids, I do quite a bit. I am a full-blown mama bear. I don't like people getting close to my kids or threatening them or nothing. My kids have been through enough in their life that unfortunately outside my control have happened to them, and I would do quite a bit.
Would you kill your own kid and dynasty, your whole last name?
No.
Would you do it?
No. A last name is not worth killing your babies. No.
So we're going to get into the Murdaugh family. The Murdaugh family goes back generations in South Carolina.
Is this
Thanks
one
to
of the,
Netflix?
Southern prominent families?
Yeah.
Like they have a lot of pull in their communities?
Yes, 100%. Like, honestly, the Netflix documentary was so good. At first, it started off kind of weird, not gonna lie, because everything that happened following this accident unfolded this whole family. Randolph Murdaugh Sr., which is going back a little way, was actually a district attorney in South Carolina's 14th Judicial District. It's starting back is 3 generations.
Okay.
So the senior was born February 28th of 87, and he started the dynasty. The reputation is holding influence over local law enforcement. Randolph Sr. actually founding his own one-man law firm in 1910, which steadily grew his power until he was elected to the district attorney of Varnville, South Carolina in the 20s. But Sr. tragically died July 19th, 1940 at 53 years old when his car was hit by a train. Now, Randolph Buster Murdaugh Jr., oh my God, was born January 15th, 1915. Buster would continue to be a district attorney in South Carolina's 14th Judicial District. Buster...
So he followed in Dan's footsteps.
Bingo. He took over Senior's seat in 1940 following his death. He held that seat for 46 years until he retired at 71. His own portrait was actually in the courtroom trial of Alex Murdaugh, which he'll come later.
That has to be like one of those moments when you're looking up at that portrait of your, I don't know if it was his dad, his grandpa, or what. Just to have him in the room, like, I would constantly feel like that portrait's watching me.
For real. That'd scare me. Now, Randolph Buster Murdaugh Jr. gave birth to Randolph Murdaugh III. They need to get rid of that name. I'm just saying. He became a circuit solicitor, aka lawyer, in Varnville.
Okay.
He ran unopposed throughout the entire time he was in office to be the circuit court solicitor. Now, do you kind of see where this is going? He retired. He's gonna play a part in these as well. He eventually retired from the district attorney position in 2006, literally 2006, and he died June 10th of 2021. 3 days after 2 of the murders. 3 days.
Wow.
Then you have the big main part in this whole thing, Alex Murdaugh. He was born May 27th of 1968. He did not hold the district attorney seat in the 14th district. However, he worked at the family law firm, meaning he still had a lot of willpower in this county and the state. So you now have an idea of all the generations that kind of fall into play. It's still that. Alex had 2 kids, Paul Murdaugh and Buster Murdaugh. Now, how do you think this is going so far?
Well, we got a long lineage and with a very prominent name, apparently. I mean, they have a lot of influence, especially over law in the judicial system. So they obviously think that they're untouchable, that they can get away with whatever.
Oh, yeah. Literally, this guy. Anyway, we'll start. The Murdaugh family law firm was formerly known as Peters Murdaugh, Parker, Elstritz, and Dietrich, which is a personal injury litigation. Success started in the early 2000s due to the state law. Okay. The law permitted South Carolina residents to file suit in any county in which an out-of-state company owned property and conducted business regardless of where the accident took place.
Okay.
So you get kind of idea. In Hampton County, which is where the law firm is, trial judges avoided transferring cases, and plaintiffs' attorneys had a reputation of abusing subpoena power. So now you kind of get how this is all going.
Okay.
All right. All originally started, which is still ongoing because they're trying to figure it out as of right now. I'm going to start with one of the deaths that were covered up that Murdaugh family has always had a hand in, but they don't know how far that hand goes. Makes sense. July 8th, 2015, Stephen Smith, a 19-year-old nursing student, was found dead from blunt force trauma on a rural road in Hampton County, approximately 15 miles from Murdaugh's family Moselle estate. The case was initially ruled as a hit and run. No suspects arrested. Smith was an openly gay high school student who went to school with Alex's oldest son, Buster. The witnesses interviewed as a part of the original investigated repeatedly implicated Buster has been involved in a relationship with Smith, but apparently the case went cold. I don't know how you feel about that one.
I mean, I'm open to people choosing who they want for their partners. I don't have any problem with him if he's gay. I have a feeling that that's going to be the issue.
So, you're right. I feel like since it's been fun. Rumors hinting at the cover-up and possible involvement of one or more members of the Murdaugh family. Now, watching the Netflix series, they hinted from the rumors that was being said, Buster found Smith on the side of the road because Smith called Buster and he was only a few minutes out. He went with his friend and beat him, is what one rumor has it. I don't think that's the case. Because when you listen, I think he came out to his dad and he didn't like that because that might have tarnished his reputation or his family's reputation, and he had someone kill him. So I think watching that series.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. And according to Beaufort County Island Packet, which is a journalist firm out in Beaufort, down there, the case reeked of insider interference. Okay. June of 2021, South Carolina Law Enforcement Division reopened the investigation into his death based on the evidence they found while investigating the death of Maddie and Paul Murdaugh. We'll talk about them in a little bit. Because on March 22nd, 2023, they announced that Smith's death was a murder and not a hit and run. No charges or indictment has been issued related to his death as of December 2024. We don't know. It's rough. However, Buster, the one that they've accused, denies involvement.
Of course. Why would you want to admit to killing somebody?
Exactly. But he stated he has an alibi of being in a family beach house in Edisto Beach with his mother and brother when Sam was killed.
Convenient.
It's always convenient. So I don't know about that. That'll probably come up later because I have a feeling something's going to pop out. Now, we're going to go to February 2nd, 2018. The Murdaugh's housekeeper, Gloria Satterfield, suffered a severe head injury when she tripped by one of the Murdaugh's dogs. She fell down the front steps of the family home. She ended up dying in the hospital 24 days later.
Poor woman.
Due to the complications of the fall, including a stroke. You're going to realize how quickly this turns here in a second. No coroner was notified. No autopsy was performed. The death certificate stated death due to natural causes.
What? Blunt force trauma is not natural causes. I'm just throwing that out there.
The thing is, it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. Because the coroner should have been notified. He wasn't. There was no autopsy performed. She wasn't exactly old, but she wasn't exactly young either. Like 56 when she died, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, but still, an autopsy, no matter what, should have been performed.
Yep. And a coroner testified that the death certificate as natural was improper. I mean,
I can see that. Like, it's not done
none
through
of
the
it was
right
done
channels.
perfect. Exactly. Now, there was an insurance policy out on Satterfield, okay, which was against the insurance company of the Murdaugh's estate, okay? Her two sons, were awarded $4.3 million in insurance policy payout because the insurer for her insurance said it had to be accidental and or natural cause of death. Okay. But as of 2021, only reason why we say 2021 is because 2021 was kind of a bigger issue. They never received that money.
Where'd it go? Was there even a payout or was it taken?
According to sources, no, doesn't say who, whatever. Alex Murdaugh, banker Chad Westendorf, and attorney Corey Fleming conspired to steal the payout by diverting the money to Alex's bank account, but not telling the Satterfields that it was actually, the payout was done.
What a piece of shit.
However, Satterfield was represented by malpractice attorney Eric Bland. They were finally able to recover more than $6.5 million during subsequent lawsuits because Alex Murdaugh is a personal injury attorney. The joys of this family gets worse. So now, this is just for her. On September 15th of 2021, authorities reopened a criminal investigation to her death. In June 22, finally got permission to exhume her body to continue investigating her death. Now, August of last year, Corey Fleming, which is an attorney, pled guilty to 23 charges, including breach of trust with fraudulent intent and money laundering. He was sentenced to 13 years and 10 months in prison, and he lost his license.
As he should have.
I agree. Now, he went in for that. Alex Murdaugh, November 28th of last year, pled guilty to embezzling the insurance money and was sentenced to 27 years for this and other financial crimes, which the indictment was 22 counts.
Oh, Jesus.
But Chad Westendorf was not indicted. They dropped the lawsuit against him, but his bank's CEO was fired. I don't know what bank he is. They kind of left it alone.
If they left it alone like that, it has to be a big one.
That's what I'm thinking. I feel like I could look it up, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to on this one. This is where it all starts to fall apart.
Well, already started?
This next death actually started to cause the effects into all of them. Going back to Smith being reopened, Gloria being reopened. Yeah.
Okay.
The death of Mallory Beach. So February of 2019, Paul Murdaugh, the youngest son of weird because my husband's name is Paul, just saying, was charged with 3 felonies following the death of his teenage friend, Mallory, in a boating accident, which Paul was underage at the time of this, but Paul's blood alcohol content was 286.
That is ridiculously high.
Yeah. And I believe it's supposed to be like a 0.08 in South Carolina, but over 3 times the legal limit for operating a vehicle.
Right.
But at the time of the accident, Paul was underage and the legal limit did not apply, which is weird how they ruled it this way. I don't know. I didn't understand that. Yeetus. I don't know. Even though he was the driver of the boat, which all his friends that were on that boat testified that he was driving, and he tried to turn it around on somebody else, he was not giving us a field sobriety test. He was not.
Are you kidding?
Nope. He was not even taken into jail for booking. He was never handcuffed. Period.
Talk about privilege.
Oh, yeah. And that whole family having special treatment. They really did.
Obviously. I mean, that's ridiculous. No handcuffs, no booking, no nothing. You're 3 times the legal limit underage? Nah, come on now.
Oh, and it gets better. Always gets better. So he was able to get out on bond during this time. The judge did not require him to have an alcohol bracelet.
Okay.
I don't know any judge that wouldn't do that. I'm sorry. So this kid basically doesn't have to get booked, has to just show up for a court appearance, is facing 3 felonies, didn't have to get booked, didn't have to get fingerprinted, didn't have to do a field sobriety, nothing.
Must have been nice. I know people that got taken to the cleaners for a lot less.
Yeah, so do I. So I'm kind of confused how this family works. But
even with that much influence, none of that should have happened. They still would have had to follow some kind of letter of the law. The fact that they didn't is astounding to me.
Yeah. In the Netflix documentary series, they talk about, he got out on bond for literally nothing. They didn't say the dollar amount, but the guy kept saying it was literally nothing. They have Paul going to parties and drinking afterwards. living his best life, as a few of them said.
Wow.
Yum. I highly recommend it. It was really good. Mallory Beach's family did a wrongful death lawsuit against the Murdaughs. Beach's family implicated Alex and Buster in providing the alcohol to then underage Paul. Now, as of September of 2021, SLED, which is South Carolina, was investigating the allegation that police may have been pressured not to charge Paul. The family of Connor Cook, which is one of the kids that was on that boat, which Paul tried to accuse Connor of driving when he wasn't, and the other witnesses did state in that show, Connor wasn't driving. Connor had to get his jaw fixed because in that crash, how he hit, his face broke a seat in the boat.
Poor kid.
He couldn't even talk when Paul accused him. He can talk now. He talks in the show.
No wonder why Paul accused him.
You can't say nothing. That was rough. That was rough. But the family of Connor Cook filed a lawsuit claiming Alex had encouraged them to retain attorney Corey Fleming in order to orchestrate the protection of Paul.
Makes sense.
Yeah. The case is where the unraveling of Alex's enterprise was happening. This is why she was very important. Sadly, she lost her life for this, but in the days before the killing of Maggie and Paul, a judge had scheduled a hearing to consider the motion to have Alex overturn his financial records. Maggie, Alex's wife, arranged for a forensic accountant to review the family finances. Now, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, but to me it sounds like maybe she was a little more unaware, like didn't really think anything bad about her husband, like maybe he didn't, there's no way he could have done anything, so we don't have anything to hide. Kind of thing. Maybe she was ignorant to it all.
She actually kind of was for some of it. Now, we have to go into the Murdaugh murders, which is the murder of Maggie and Paul. It explains a lot, because I see where you're going with it. June 7th, 2 days after my birthday, honestly, of 2021, Alex called the police from his cell phone at 10:06 p.m., saying he had discovered the bodies of his 22-year-old son, Paul, and 52-year-old wife near the dog kennel located on their 1,772-acre estate.
Jesus, talk about a big estate.
Yeah. Both had been shot multiple times with different weapons. Alex claimed at the time of the killing, he had been with his mother, who has dementia. How convenient.
Right?
Now.
So if she says she doesn't remember him being there, then can't really do anything about it because of the dementia.
It was revealed Maggie had consulted a divorce lawyer weeks prior to their death. Just kind of sparkling in that.
Yeah, maybe she became aware that there were some things going on and she wanted out. She got scared.
Now, October of 2021, South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, also called SLED, just saying, had regarded Alex as a person of interest in the homicide since the start of the investigation. Okay, which can't blame you.
Well, no, not at all.
In July of 2022, Alex was indicted for murder for his wife and his son. Now, prosecutors suggested a motive because of everything going on at this time. He sought distraction from his financial crimes because his financial crimes were going public, and now he wanted to get sympathy.
Oh, God. That is so messed up.
Alex Murdaugh was convicted in 2023. May 2nd, by the way. He was actually sentenced to 2 life sentences without the possibility of parole.
Finally some justice for the crimes of that family.
Yeah, I know. He's still fighting it because he states that the jury was tampering with one of the court clerks. So he's trying to say that it was a misjudgment.
A mistrial.
Here's the thing. Right after his family died, there was another situation going.
Okay.
So after that, before he got indicted, September 3rd of 2021, Alex resigned from the law firm because the firm confronted him of embezzlement, which, according to New York Times, the amount was in the millions.
Holy shit.
Now, the following day, so September 4th, Alex was grazed by a gunshot to the head while changing his tire on a rural road. He claimed a truck slowed down, shot him, and drove away. September 6th, he released a statement saying he was entering the rehabilitation facility in Orlando, Florida for substance abuse.
Sounds more like he's trying to run.
This whole family was bad. Now, September 14th, 8 days, SLED, which is the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, announced that Alex's former client and distant cousin, Curtis Edward Smith, was Alex's oxycodone dealer.
Holy shit. Whole family's fucked up.
Oh, I know. And it gets worse. He was arrested for conspiring to have Alex killed. However, he conspired with Alex to kill him on the side of the roadside shooting, which would allow his son Buster to receive a $10 million insurance payout. Smith was charged with assisted suicide, aggravated assault and battery, and insurance fraud. Makes sense.
Okay.
Alex suffered from massive depression and wanted to kill himself. So he concocted this suicide as a murder scheme. He claimed that the motive by a mistaken belief that Buster would not have received the insurance money if Alex committed suicide himself. Now, November 4th of 2023, the Hampton County Grand Jury issued 3 charges against Alex in the assisted suicide scheme. Curtis Edward denied the version of events. He had nothing to do with the insurance fraud, which, when you watch the Netflix series, he comes and talks. And he's like, I used to be told from Alex to put these checks into his account and then withdraw them right away. He's also playing the financial fraud, aka the embezzlement part, which he stated he didn't know.
Yeah, okay.
So the embezzlement, according to attorney Justin Bamberg, who currently right now represents 8 of the people that Alex stole money from, he said the number of victims could be anywhere from between 30 and 50. He only represents 8.
Dang.
The amount stolen could be as high as $20 million.
Seriously, what do you need with that much money?
I don't know. So they're assuming it involves a person called, not involved. One of the cases is involved to Hakim Pinkley, which is a deaf African-American man in a 2009 traffic incident who required permanent life support. Murdaugh's personally represented his family against the manufacturer of the tires on the vehicle, which family was awarded a settlement. In 2011, Pinkley died at the care of the facility after his ventilator was mysteriously unplugged. PMPED, which is the Murdaugh family law firm, that's just the nickname for it, sorry, no shame, handled wrongful death suit, which allegedly Murdaugh introduced them to Russell Lafette, which is the CEO of Palmetto State Bank, who managed Pinkley's finances due to the size of the settlement. So Pinkley's received some money, but an estimate $800,000 to $1 million went missing. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
So in January 2022, Board of Palmetto State Bank fired Lafayette after the allegation came to light.
One small justice.
Another one, Blondell Gray, who was killed in an ambulance crash in 2012, who is currently owed more than $112,000, which Alex stole. Sandra Taylor, who was a resident killed by a drunk driver in 2019, received only $30,000 of a $180,000 settlement.
That doesn't sound like it's very fair, to be completely honest.
Which part?
Everything that was taken.
Oh, yeah. Like, literally, December of 2022, Alex Murdaugh was indicted by a grand jury for 9 charges of evading state income taxes close to $487,000. So we see where he kind of just stopped caring.
Yeah.
Everything. There is more counts of, embezzlement that's been going on for a while from Alex that if you really want to get to know, I'd watch that show. I'm not lying, I really would. And as of right now, Buster, which is the oldest son, the only alive son now, testified in his dad's murder trial, saying that he was innocent, is suing Netflix.
On what grounds?
Defamation, because Netflix stated his name in there, accusing him of doing it, of killing Mr. Smith, which is the first murder that got pushed under the rug, about his killing his classmate. Sadly.
Supposedly seeing.
Bingo. They declined to comment, Netflix did, so I'm not sure where it stands right now.
I don't see how he has a leg to stand on. Isn't it more like theorized kind of thing? It's like a theorized comment.
It was a theorized comment.
And he doesn't have a leg to stand on. He's going to lose the case. I would be extremely shocked if he won that.
I would be too. That's why I'm kind of like curious. Where is this at?
I definitely would like to know.
I kind of want to too.
All being said, where the case lies technically, and if he is, basically going to win, because I mean, in today's day and age, people are winning for spilling hot coffee that they just bought on themselves because they have no fucking common sense. So I guess in today's of how unfair and how retarded everybody is, maybe he will win.
The thing is, would Netflix pay to make it go away?
I hope not.
That's another thing.
Like, again, you don't have a leg to stand on. Take it to court.
Yeah, because with Alex's case being reopened, I'm kind of curious to see what is going to happen. They think Stephen Smith's cell phone records will be the key into solving his mystery.
That would be interesting to find out what was being said or who he was talking to or anything like that right before he died.
Yeah, because now they have Paramount Plus airing the Stephen Smith, A Death in Murdaugh County series going on too. I didn't know they had that. I'm not even gonna lie. So now they have this.
Well, looks like we got something else to watch.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, it sickens me that any one family, because of their name and what their ancestors did or whatever, can have that much influence to where they can pretty much, I mean, if his housekeeper didn't, die and then the money get embezzled, nothing else would have been done. Everything else would have been gotten away with. But like you said, that was the catalyst, and all this stuff came to fall. But it should have been taken care of way before then. Things should have been questioned way before then, but they weren't because of it being a prominent name, a prominent family. Just because you have a prominent name doesn't mean that you're not capable of doing the same horrendous things somebody without a prominent name does. You are held to a higher standard, which means, in my opinion, if you're held to the higher standard, then you should be held accountable 10.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
You should be punished harsher than others. You want the name, you have to suffer the consequences.
I agree. 110% I agree. This should have been questioned from the cops, but when you watch that Netflix documentary about it, as soon as they said, oh, we're representing this family, because Paul calls Alex and Rudolph, the third, I think, they literally were covering up things that night. Someone in the family came and got the boat. Hello, the evidence from that crash for Mallory Beach that night, got it out of the water in front of the cops like nothing happened. And yet they were actually denying the family members of Mallory Beach not to go near the water because it was a crime scene. Take it as you will. But this family had everything, covered it all. And that was my case.
It's a good case. And I'm looking forward to watching the documentary on Netflix, and now the other one dealing with that first murder. I feel bad for that kid too. I mean, if his only crime was being gay and dating one of the Murdaughs, it's astounding to me that would have been something to kill that poor kid over. Like, he had a bright future. He was going to school to be in the medical field. It's just sad. And then I want to know what happened to cause, I don't think for 1 second that the housekeeper's death was an accident. 100% do believe it was a murder. And I want to know what happened to her. Why would you go after the housekeeper? Did she find something out? Was she suspected of finding something out? Or was there something else going on behind the scenes? Was maybe she a lover? And I don't know. It's all like theorized, but I want to know why they killed these people. And then, the girl on the boat. Was that really an accident?
I don't. Personally, he was too drunk.
There was a lot of people on the boat. If it wasn't an accident, I would think somebody would have said something. But still, he tried to blame someone else completely for driving
the guy who couldn't talk. He couldn't defend himself. The murder of the nanny, there has been rumors on why she died. So the rumor has it, according to the Netflix documentary, because it doesn't really say in any of the articles, is because he found the stash of Alex Murdaugh, his bags of pills, underneath his bed.
So she was theoretically, she was killed because she found his drugs?
And when, theoretically, now I don't know if that's completely the case in this, but theoretically, she went to the son, Paul, and informed him, his dad was still on drugs. And magically she died. Theoretically. Take it as you will on that.
I just, wow. Okay. It sounded more like she was trying to help him, like maybe bring it to someone's attention so that they could help him or get him help. If that's the case, I don't think that she was doing it to be malicious, like going behind his back and be like, "Oh my God, he's on drugs." Like, these poor people. They all sound like their parts in all of this are completely innocent, and this family is just
Wrong?
kind of evil.
Kinda. You're saying it nice too.
I'm trying to be nice, but the damn, like, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
That is where I don't know. Will we probably ever know the truth? I don't think at this point the family even knows the truth.
No. Hell, I think the ones that even committed the crimes have twisted the story in their head so much they actually believe it. Even they won't even know their own truths anymore.
That's exactly it. I don't think they realize what is true, what is false.
Well, again, like I said, I don't think that any family should have that much power. I don't think that anybody should be able to get away with anything. Like that, but you see it all the time. All the time. All these people with money in their pockets, with these powerful names, they get away with so much. Ridiculous.
Oh yeah. They knew everything. But it's sad when your family gets brought into all of it. All of the destruction. All of the unsolved murders in your area. I'm going to say murders, even though they were deemed accidental in the beginning. All of these things doesn't make sense.
No.
That's how I feel.
I'm right there with you. Oh, I hope justice is served, and I do hope that if this Buster whatever continues his lawsuit against Netflix, that he ends up losing everything. I want him to lose. I don't want Netflix to pay him off. I want it to go to court, and I want him to lose.
I do too. I really do. I want to see Netflix say, no, we're going to do this. And I would love it, personally, if Netflix decides to say, you know what? We accused you, but here's the thing. We're going to pay for this, this, and this to get done to either prove the case that you did it or help you lose.
Ooh, that would be great. Like one of those, you know what? You shouldn't have come after us because now we're kind of big and powerful. Let's come after you.
Exactly. See, I want to see that. I would love to see that. Do I see that happening? Probably not. But
no.
Let's go. I would love it. Let's go.
Netflix is part of the huge cancel culture. They're never gonna go after somebody.
No, but they could. I mean,
it'd be great if they did.
That is true. So true. But I would love, honestly, just say, yeah, we'll do all this to either prove they did it or prove that you did it. If you didn't, we pay for all that and we take our, we'll take that part out of it. We will edit out our services to make sure that doesn't say that again. Now, hear me out. If you did do it, your name stays on there and we make sure we monitor your trial.
Ooh, yeah. That would
then
be
Netflix
great.
would have a great series. I'm just saying, Netflix, if you hear me out, if you hear me when I'm saying this, please, I want a cut of this action. I'm just saying.
At least just throw the name out there. Crystal from Sunday Morning Coffee and Murdaugh gave us this suggestion. You know what? It's time we fight back.
Real.
Thank you.
All for it. All for it. And I bet you know how many people would be all for it too? Netflix would get their name out there real quick.
Right?
I'm all for it. I'm just saying. Netflix, we got some ideas. Let's go.
Especially since some of the ideas we've been watching are getting a little old. Let's do some new ones.
I mean, this would definitely be a new one.
It would.
Well,
they don't have any live, and I guess it wouldn't be live. They would have to, do it later. But I don't think Netflix has done anything where they themselves have ever had a camera in a courtroom. I might be wrong.
I don't think
but
so.
I've only watched a handful of the documentaries, even ones with more recent trials. I don't think that they've ever done anything where they themselves have someone in a courtroom.
I don't think they did. I don't know.
They did. I'm sorry. Like I said, maybe I haven't come across it yet, but
I don't think they did. I don't know. I want to watch the trial with Amber Turd and Johnny Depp. That they did. I don't know if they had a camera in there for that. But I don't know. So that's just me. I don't know. But Sonia, you muted yourself, honey.
I don't know what happened to my computer. Just turned my mic off. So can I go back a sec? I don't know what you heard or didn't hear. Now I can't hear you. Oh, your mic's off. Ah!
It was weird. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, go ahead.
Computers just unanimously decided that they didn't want to hear us talking anymore.
I guess not. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I'm sorry. With that, I just lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
You wanted to go back a few seconds because your computer muted on.
The problem is I can't remember what I was saying when my computer muted me.
We were kind of talking about the Amber Heard one, is where I kind of left off at.
So I love Johnny Depp. And I at first, when I heard about this whole trial thing and everything he was going through, I kind of stood back because the first things you remember hearing were how he was this awful person. And I was like, there's no way. But how much do you really know people, And I'm just sitting back like, I'm not going to judge anything just yet. And then you find out all this other stuff that happened between the two of them. And I'm just like, I've always been that person that you can't just go after a man. A woman is just as capable of being a monster. And yet it's always the man that seems to get the blunt of it, that gets accused and everything. And it just bothers me. So when he finally got his justice, I was so happy. But I kind of, like I said, I was trying to stay back from it because, I was falling in love with her acting, and I loved Aquaman, and I thought she was this awesome person, and then all this came out, and I'm like, wow, you're kind of a bitch. Sorry, but for real. So I haven't watched that just yet, but it is on my to-watch list. Along with, because I still haven't got to John Bonet, and I really want to watch that because we just did one about her. So there's a lot on my list that I want to catch up on. But it's been such a busy month with Christmas around the corner that I haven't been able to just sit down and actually watch these Netflix documentaries. And I really, really want to.
It's actually really good.
So
the John Bonet one. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to watch it. But yeah, I mean, people, what are your opinions on this? What are your opinions on someone's name having that much power in the community you live in? Do you have somebody that is that influential in your community that could possibly be hiding secrets with their family name, or theorized? Let's put that out there. These are hypothetical situations. We aren't going to say these people actually did anything, but we are curious to know if anyone has a local name that carries so much weight that might be out there hiding secrets, or how you feel about people with influential names or money, how they get away with stuff in this country, that they're not held to the same standards when they actually should be held to higher standards, since we put them in a higher place of recognition. Well, we want to thank you again for joining us on this lovely Sunday, and we hope you enjoyed this story as much as we have. Please, again, leave a comment, hit that like button, and follow us for more to come. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we do hope to have you back soon, and that you are enjoying this holiday season with your friends and loved ones. Thank you so much again for joining, and you have a wonderful day. Ready?
Bye.
Bye.